Hi. Hello and welcome to Knock Knock Hi with the Glauc and Fleckens. I am Dr. Glauc and Flecken, also known as Will Flannery.
I'm Lady Glauc and Flecken, also known as Kristen Flannery.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we just got back from spring break.
We did.
And it wasn't like...
It's not a break, people.
Well, our kids... I should
Yeah.
always preference it. It's always your kids' spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do a quick recap of our trip.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is talk about the latest medical TikTok drama.
Okay.
There's always something going on.
Always something.
And then maybe a little like ophthalmology medical stuff at the end.
All right.
We'll see. But first, I want to know what your thoughts were about visiting the Capitol from like an advocacy standpoint for the first time.
Oh, yes.
Because we took the kids we did a family trip, East Coast trip. By the way, man, traveling West Coast to East Coast.
It's brutal.
It's
Brutal.
awful. And I don't know, for some reason, well, I know why, because we had to, but we left at 7:00 in the morning on the West Coast.
Well, our plane left, so we got up much earlier.
Right. And fortunately, it didn't have to deal with all like the TSA like craziness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it felt like it took, for some reason, like 3 days to like feel like a human being.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we used to be, I think so. We used to be able to just like bounce right back. And now, yeah, either direction, it takes you, at least 2 days for me. And yeah, sometimes 3. Yeah, I think it only goes downhill from here. So
I am glad we decided to have kids younger. Like, what if they were like babies?
Can I just say this is an I told you so moment?
Well, I didn't fight it that hard.
I had to do a little convincing
I did not fight it that hard.
Having them younger would be a good idea for this very reason. So I'm glad that it paid off.
You were thinking about like, oh,
this
it's going to be easier
trip.
This one, spring break 2026.
Yeah.
It's like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, in 14 years, this will make sense.
No, like when they're young, you don't get to go anywhere because, nap times and you have to work around them. But so I was like, well, we don't have any money to go anywhere right now anyway, because we were in, you were still in med school and then residency. And so like that worked out fine. We were just going to be home anyway. And then I said, and then by the time they're 18, we'll still be in our like late 40s, relatively young. So we can go, once we do have resources, we can go, enjoy them.
That would have been impossible to do this, what we just did with babies. With babies.
No way.
With little kids. Our kids are 11 and 14 now.
Mm-hmm.
And so did a quick stop in New York and then took a train, took the Amtrak.
That's right.
Down to Washington, D.C. And we spent a morning with Elizabeth Warren and her team.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been, doing some advocacy stuff with her and trying to get the word out on this bill, the Breakup Big Medicine Act. Basically, the whole point of it is to turn insurance companies back into insurance companies.
Can we call it the Big Beautiful Breakup?
The Big Beautiful Breakup Bill. I love it. I think it's great. Instead, right now, insurance companies are like insurance companies plus 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I mean, it would be great if we could just like get rid of middlemen altogether, including insurance companies. But like that's not possible. So, or at least not at this point.
Not quickly.
And so just like make them just do what they're like meant to do instead of like owning physicians, hospitals, PBMs, pharmacies. I don't know, social media networks at some point probably.
Right. They're probably working on it.
Oh, I'm sure. So Optum, TikTok, Optum. I don't know what
Yeah.
And so that's what the point is. And so I've done now a couple videos with Elizabeth Warren. Did one in person, which was
really
very
fun.
Stressful for me.
Was it?
I don't know if it came across. I was stressed because, first of all, here's how it worked. Like her team had reached out to us a while ago. This is like months ago. These things always take a ton of time because their schedules are busy.
There's a lot of bureaucracy involved too.
Right. This is a long time in the works. We did one skit, which was more controlled because she recorded her parts, I recorded my parts, and we stitched them together. I edited them together and put it out there.
Right.
But this time, we were like, we're going. We told them we're coming to Washington D.C. We're planning on it because we had a couple speaking gigs on the East Coast.
Mhm.
Can we do something? And they were like all for it. And then the war happened,
Yeah.
and I was like, because I've done the advocacy thing on the Hill with ophthalmology.
Yes.
We had this thing called mid-year forum, and there's this. Actually, it's this time of year. It's usually like spring,
Mhm.
late winter,
March
spring,
and September, I think they said.
where all the doctor groups show up and want to have meetings with their representatives, senators, representatives, and like advocate for things. So like the orthopedic surgeons, the neurologists, the family medicine, everybody's coming in. Uh, and and the way it worked when I last time I did this with ophthalmologists from
Mhm.
my state was that we ended up just meeting with staffers.
Right.
And I asked Elizabeth Warren's one of her staffers. I was like, is this usually how it is? Where it's like, you know, usually it's the staffers that meet with the doctors and not
Right.
the actual. And she's like, yeah, that's typically how it is because they're so busy.
Right.
And so this whole time, the whole week leading up to the day we were supposed to do this, I was like, there's no way. Like, there's there's a war. There's like, I mean, this is like she is very high ranking in the Senate. She's
Right.
been there for
She's
a
a busy
while.
lady.
Busy. So I was like, there's no way this is gonna happen. But then it did.
Yeah,
And she was there,
she
and
was.
we met her. We took some photos. The kids got to meet her, and but I was very nervous
Mhm.
because I knew we wouldn't have much time.
Right.
Right? Like we're not gonna
Gotta
get
yeah.
like half a day
Right.
with this
You've
woman.
gotta
Like, come on.
get in, get it done, get out.
And so we were able to get it. I had a very short script, and we were able to do it in like 5 minutes.
She also she knew her lines already.
She did. She was prepared.
Yeah, she had clearly looked at it ahead of time and was ready to
Right.
go.
And so we were able to get done. It was like kind of in a public space in
Mhm.
the Senate office
Basically kind of
building.
out in a hallway,
So we were like,
essentially.
we were collecting a bit of an audience from
Yes.
from other parts of the building, but it was great, and we got it done. And she's not bad,
Yeah,
not bad for
she's
an
got good
actor.
energy, which helps.
Yeah, it's the energy.
Yeah.
You need the upbeat, which I am admittedly not the most like upbeat, energetic person, but I can get up for my
You
videos.
do put it all into your
I
videos,
put it all.
and then
The rest of the time
that's
I'm
it.
comatose.
Yeah.
I have no emotion whatsoever on my face all day.
That's
So
actually true. Except sometimes you look angry and grouchy. That one will come out.
okay, people are going to think I'm a terrible person.
No. That one I'm just saying that one can sneak through. The rest of them.
Fair enough. And so we did museums and stuff. I really enjoyed the African American History Museum, which I
Mhm.
had never been to. None of us had ever been to.
Right.
I think it's relatively new.
Relatively new. It was
And
really
we had so many
interesting.
recommendations. People like, go check it out. It was powerful. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Everybody should go see it. They have like lots of good interactive things too, like
Mhm.
that the kids could appreciate. Did the Natural History Museum.
That's right.
We did. What else did we go to?
Air and Space
Air and Space Museum.
twice.
Yeah, because we have one of our daughters is obsessed with space, so she's like, "Can I just go back to the
Yeah.
other one?" And we did. We got to see all the diamonds and the minerals and all the
Yes,
and
at
the
the Natural
Natural History
History.
Museum.
Mhm.
So, and by the end, these things are so massive. I always forget just how like it's all right there on the mall in
Right.
DC, but it's to get like it's a lot of walking, and the museums themselves are big, and we're just museumed out.
Yeah. I love museums. And
And then
you gotta pace yourself. It's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, and then we took the train down to Philadelphia, and the last
Mhm.
thing we did, I went and talked to Will's Eye, which is one of the
Yes.
preeminent eye departments in the country. It's very exciting to be there, and we finished it off with this, dinner dance gala. I wore a tuxedo for the
Yeah.
first time in my life.
Yes, our teenager guilted you into getting one. You
Alright, so
were adamant that you
okay,
were not
so
going.
here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm not a fancy pants
You're
person.
not a
I
fancy
don't
boy.
have a lot of fancy pants.
No.
Like, most of my pants are normal pants.
Most of your pants are
And so,
less than normal.
I heard about that they were hosting this social event. It's a dinner and dance. and that it was black
Black
tie
tie.
formal.
Mhm.
And I said to Kristen, I was like, "Listen, what if I just wore my regular suit that I wear whenever I give keynotes?"
Mhm.
And and my family was like, "No, you idiot. Like, what are you
We
doing?"
didn't call you an
We're
idiot.
well, that was the subtext, but just it's fine, it's fair, because they were all like, I saw all the work that you guys are putting into this.
Yes, it's a lot.
Like, you went and you got the gowns,
We had to get floor length gowns, had to
eh,
get them altered, had to
alterations,
find shoes.
nail appointments.
Yes, hair
By the
appointments.
way, folks, particularly the men, the dads listening to this, I took my younger daughter to go get her nails done, $72 to get new nails and painted them.
Mhm.
70 that doesn't even include tip. $72.
No women are surprised right now, just so you know.
Is this what your life has been
Yes,
like?
have you never heard of the pink tax?
Well, but that's like
So
probably
not
that must be
only is it like normal items are priced more expensive for women, you also have all these additional
okay.
things that you have to do and pay for to be considered, like, socially presentable.
Okay, but does that apply this pink tag? Does it apply to a thing like a nail salon where it's like the vast majority of the clientele there are going to be
Well,
women?
it's what I just said. Not only do you have regular things for both genders where the female, quote, "products" are more
Yeah.
expensive, you also have additional things that you have to do and you have to pay for in order to be considered socially presentable. So, for example, I have to spend an hour every morning that you do not have to spend just to be able to, like, show my face to society.
Can I say I'm just gonna say this as like my personal preferences. I do not care about your nails.
I know you don't.
So who does?
Society.
No, see, I think it's in this particular instance. I
No,
think
it's
is it women judging other women here?
that is absolutely happening, yes, but also men. I mean, listen, there's a academic research that if you the women who wear makeup to work, like a
Okay,
decent face of makeup, get better career opportunities and higher pay
I'm not gonna.
than if the same woman does not wear makeup, right? Like,
I want to see that same study for
nails are part
nails.
of it. Nails, hair,
I don't
outfit,
know.
makeup, it is all part of it. It's all about, are you presentable? And there's, like, criteria
I,
that we have to meet, and it's not anything explicit that we ever go, learn. I guess maybe when they had finishing school, they probably taught those things explicitly,
finishing
but
school.
yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. You don't know about finishing
Like
school?
finish your appearance and go out on the
I
town? Like
don't know what it
what is
references
that?
in terms of finishing, but basically it's how to be a woman in society is what finishing school
Really?
was.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Finishing school. I've never
it's
heard
a
that in my
whole other
life.
episode, I guess. This is what I am saying. There is so much, and this is not like a criticism of you. This is true for most men. So much goes into just regular life for women that you don't have to do. No one expects you to do. No one will judge you if you don't. Women will 100%
Yeah.
be judged if we don't do these things. And sometimes it ends up having real, tangible, and even financial ramifications if we don't do them. And, like, it
I'm
will
not
look
gonna argue
bad
that.
on you
Yeah.
if you show up with 3 women who are just like, whatever, casual,
Well, I understand,
and
like,
it looks bad on us too, like, we get judged, but so do you. It's horrible, I hate it. It's all just part of,
I
living in a
totally
patriarchal
okay,
society, but it is a fact, it's true.
I totally get the makeup thing.
Mhm.
Like, I believe that.
Yeah. This is confusing to me that you're so confused by nails because your mother, your whole life is, like, religious about getting her nails done. Like, this is nothing
no,
new.
no, I just I don't know why people pay so much close attention to nails.
I don't know
The
either.
makeup, it makes sense. I mean, I think it's terrible that, like, you have to do this to yourself every day before being seen in public. But we are always looking at people's faces.
Right.
So I get that. the nail. So that's why I was wondering if it's more like for that particular thing, you're
Mhm.
putting up appearances for other women.
I don't think so. I think that I mean, that is part of it, yes. I'm
And
not saying that
and why
other
do you
women are
judge
not
each other
judging
so much?
because it is this implicit I'm not saying I like this or agree with it or that it is
That
right, but it is
women are
how the world
internalizing
works.
the
Yes, we are all socialized
okay.
that this is what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to look. A lot of it happens like in middle school and high school. You get a lot of like,
Yeah.
you have to look a certain way and do certain things and whatever, and everybody kind of polices each other. And then, it continues on in adulthood in maybe more subtle ways, but they are still very real.
Well, I will say all 3 of you looked phenomenal.
Thank you.
And also, I wanna say, because you made, hair appointments
Yes.
to get
In Philadelphia, I had to find a place.
the updos?
Hmm.
I didn't see any other updos.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Uh,
you 3 were, like, top.
But listen, Will's eye is fancy.
It
They
is
are
fancy.
fancy pants. And when they say they're having a black tie gala and
They meant
you are
black
a
tie.
guest of honor, like, I feel like we need to
Okay.
be sure that we look impeccable.
Which brings us to my decision to actually go and get a tux. So
Yes, yes, yes.
because up until the day before we left,
Mhm.
I was thinking, "I'll just wear a suit. It's not gonna be that big of a deal."
Mhm.
But then I saw I basically I was shamed by my
No one
daughter.
shamed you. Well, she shamed
No,
you a little. Yeah.
my daughter
She
shamed
shamed
me.
you a
She
bit
was shaming me. She was like, "I'm gonna be embarrassed by you."
and genuinely
Like,
meant it. She's
l
at that age
no,
where everything is embarrassing.
looked me in the eye
Yeah.
and said, "This will be embarrassing
Yeah.
if you look like this. I will not wanna be." She didn't say all these words, but, this is what I was hearing.
Mhm.
I will not wanna be seen with you. You, it'll be a stain on our family's name for years to come if you show up to this event without a tuxedo. And so I listened, and the day before we left, I ran over to, the closest tuxedo shop, formal wear shop I could find.
Mhm.
I am not a normal proportioned
No.
individual.
None of us are. We all have issues.
I'm tall and lanky, I
You
got
are.
long arms, one arm's longer than the other,
Is it
and
really?
it just by, like, half an inch, yeah.
Yeah.
And, uh, and so the first place I went to, like, they didn't have what I needed, but they did have, like, their stock, their inventory, like,
Uh-huh.
their big inventory was at another place.
Oh,
So they
okay.
sent me to
Okay.
another place,
Yeah.
and by a miracle, of the gods,
Yeah.
they were able to find something where I looked reasonable. I
Uh-huh.
looked like I passed for
Yes.
a tailored suit, even though it wasn't. And so, it worked out, and when we showed up and I saw 100% of the men
Mhm.
wearing tuxedos,
Mhm.
I was like, "Damn, I'm so glad my daughter shamed me into doing
Can I
this."
ask you though, I have said, not in so many words, but I have also expressed that I will be embarrassed when you show up places. And listen, I want people to
I don't
understand,
know.
you wear, just in general, everyday life,
Yeah.
athletic clothing from college just passes as an
Yeah.
acceptable outfit for you
Yeah,
to
that's fine.
just
Like, go to Target with.
20-year-old
Yeah,
athletic
sure.
clothing, and it's got holes in it, and
Not
it's
all of
faded and
no.
stained a lot of the
It's
time.
stained, yes, but
So I have expressed, like, is that can you maybe wear, like, something else? And it never has worked,
and you know
but
what
the
I've
first time she does it.
no, you know what I've done for you? I have accepted the idea of Stitch Fix.
Is that for me? Because I have been working on
It
that for
is.
10 years or something.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Oh, boy.
And we're not sponsored by them or anything, but, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the
See, that's
experience.
what I'm saying. I think you finally just got around to where you care about it, and so now you're
I
doing
had
it.
you in mind.
Okay.
I had you in mind because I like, putting on the clothes, and then you're like, because I could tell that you enjoy watching me try on new clothes. You enjoy it.
Oh,
You like looking at the different styles and
yeah,
things,
I
and
like I like
that's part of
style and
Yeah.
design and aesthetics just in general across the board.
It's okay to
So,
say you like
yeah.
watching me, like,
Well,
wear
it's the way you said
triangle
it, it
clothes.
sounded really weird. So I was trying to
Anyway, that was our trip, and it was a success. It was the event was really fun. It was at the Constitution Center in Philadelphia.
Yes.
We saw the life-size, like,
That was
brass,
really cool.
sculptures of the founding fathers.
Mhm.
Alexander Hamilton, tiny little man.
Tiny man. James
Tiny man.
Madison, teeny tiny man.
Yep. George Washington,
Huge.
big, tall. He's like my height.
Like, that would be tall even now.
Yeah, yeah.
And back then, I think it seems like everybody was much shorter back
It was
then.
cool. It was
But
a cool
he's still.
place. Yeah, it was a great event. So thank you to Wills for that.
Oh, and you got a very 2 very special gifts
Oh
at that
yeah,
event.
yeah. The graduating class gave me a copy of the Wills Eye Manual, which is like the Bible for like practicing ophthalmologists. Like the textbooks are a thing of the past, but this freaking book, like
Yeah.
I cannot. I'll be buried with this
Yeah.
book. Like I will never let it go. And they gave me. I made some jokes about it whenever I went to speak, and they gave me a signed copy of it.
Yes, and I really enjoyed their inscription. It took me a minute to get it. I was confused
Oh,
at
they said
first.
sorry for your bilateral enucleations.
Yes.
Which is enucleation is a surgery to remove your eyeball, and
Which is why I was confused.
yeah, but part of my talk is I talked about how I lost both my testicles to cancer.
Yeah.
So it was
So that was
fun
a
little play
reference
on
to
words.
that. I enjoyed it.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with some med TikTok stuff.
All right.
Hey, Kristen, remember how you love eyelid mites now?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of confusion out there. I want to clear something up.
Okay.
All right. People think they can get eyelid mites from dogs and cats.
Can they?
No. These particular Demodex mites are specific to humans.
Okay.
So spread from dogs and cats is not expected. That's a myth.
Can't get them from cuddling our poodle.
No. Demodex mites that cause blepharitis live on humans. Most adults already have them. They just usually don't cause problems. It's when they overgrow that they can lead to itchy, red, irritated eyelids. Those little collarettes.
Mm-hmm. The crusties at the base of the eyelashes.
Right.
And the good news is there's a prescription eye drop available for Demodex blepharitis.
That is great news. To learn more about eyelid health and Demodex blepharitis, visit miteslovelids.com. Again, that's miteslovelids.com to learn more. This ad is brought to you by Tarsus Pharmaceuticals. Okay, so this is a topic that I swear, like, medical TikTok has had a lot of just stuff happen in the past few months, and it's just
is it always TikTok or is it others?
Well, I mean, I have spent more time since I've stopped going on X, like almost completely. I've spent more time like on other platforms, and so maybe I'm just more aware of it because I've spent a little bit more time recently on TikTok.
Well, but I think it might be mostly TikTok. Like I don't hear news stories.
I think
as
it
much
started. I think
about others.
I think it does start on TikTok.
Yeah,
and so I think the way the algorithm works is like someone does something, and you watch one video on it, and then you're just inundated. Everybody wants another opinion is posted on this thing.
Yeah.
And that's what social media is. It's just an endless sea of opinions, right? And then people get mad at those opinions, and then the opinions are fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then the person who originally posted the thing that sparked all this conversation is kind of in the middle of it. So it's this over and over again. This is just what happens. But I gave my thoughts about this topic, which I swear I'm about to get to. But I want to bring you in as a non-medical perspective.
Okay. I don't think I know what this is either, so I'm coming in fresh.
Yeah. So this is a couple weeks ago. There's a creator named Dr. Iggy.
Okay.
Now I wasn't real familiar with his content. I think I'd seen him maybe once or twice before, but I could not like place any of his content.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a pretty good sized following on TikTok and Instagram, and he said in a video that he had just recently finished his medical training. He's a spine surgeon, so he did residency, fellowship, and then 6 months into his job, he decided he's leaving medicine.
Mm.
Now, it turns out he's just taking a break, so he's not decided to completely leave medicine.
Did he announce it that way?
Well,
I am leaving medicine.
I think the way it was initially worded, made a lot of people think that he was, like, leaving medicine to do content creation full time.
Okay.
He said that in the video. Actually, I can't remember if he said he's leaving medicine or taking a break from medicine, but regardless, a lot of people interpreted it
Yeah.
as interpreted. I think I put an extra "id" in there. Interpreted it interpreted it as it's hard to say as leaving medicine. But
Okay.
the reality is, he's just taking a break.
Okay.
But the purpose of it was to do content creation, and that, oh my god, set off like this firestorm of opinions.
So this isn't some creator did something
No, he
that
didn't do
was a
anything
mistake. This is
wrong.
more just a reaction to
Yes.
a doctor deciding to focus on being a content creator.
Yeah, to stop, at least temporarily,
Yeah.
seeing patients
Mhm.
and 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 do content creation full time.
Okay.
And you can imagine, like, some of the reactions that people had to that. There was a lot of,
Were they all other doctors? Let me ask.
that's a good question. So there were some doctor reactions and some non-doctor reactions.
Okay.
I would say a lot of the non-doctor reactions or non-healthcare reactions were like, "We already have a shortage of medicine. Like, why would you do all
Mm.
that and
Mhm.
not, like, wanna be a doctor?" And,
Mhm.
like, doctoring is, like, it's such a well-respected career. Why would you wanna do that?
Mhm.
And you can easily poke holes in that argument from a physician, medical standpoint.
Sure.
It's
If
like,
you know the behind the scenes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like how doctors are often mistreated and
Mhm.
not, that respect that people think that we get doesn't really exist
It's a
as
little bit
much,
outdated now, yeah.
yeah, in the greater, medical, healthcare system type,
Right. You've become
situation.
cogs in a
Cogs in the machine.
yes.
And so, um, and then, so you had some people, that were like, you know, getting on him and like saying this is a terrible decision.
Mhm.
Even some healthcare professionals are like, why would you do this? You need to keep operating. You're basically trying to ascribe like their own feeling of whether this is a good or bad idea to his decision.
Mhm.
Um, and my thoughts, I'll just give my thoughts real quick, is that you don't owe anybody a career in medicine.
Yeah.
It's really you owe it to yourself to, like, do something that you like, that's gonna bring kind of fulfillment to your life,
Mhm.
right? And if you don't if you're in a job or any situation where it's just a drain on you, you don't find any fulfillment in it,
Mhm.
then find a new situation. Now that might still be within medicine, but maybe it means leaving medicine,
Right.
leaving clinical care. And I don't think that's a problem. I think part of the issue with some of these reactions to this now, and this is really, it's about Dr. Iggy, but also not. It's because this is not the
Yeah.
first time this has happened, right?
Right.
This is just more because I can't speak to his content. I don't even know what he's going to be doing as a content creator, and that's not because it's not really the point. He just started this whole thing, like all these conversations. It's more about like, is it i- is content creation like an acceptable thing to like give up medicine for? I think that's one conversation a lot of people are having.
Yeah.
And I personally think it is acceptable
Can
because
be, I
it
think,
can
yeah.
be, because we need science communicators. We
Yes.
need, just because you leave medicine doesn't mean you don't have something expertise
Right. It's a
to
way
talk
to
about.
doctor at scale. It can if you use it
Right.
that way.
Yeah, yeah. And so, obviously you anybody could like make that kind of decision and end up grifting on something. Like,
Yes.
sure, that can happen. You obviously don't want that to happen. But we don't know what's in this guy's head or anybody's head who makes that decision. So um I think content creation, what if he had left, he said, "I'm leaving because I have a passion for figure skating." Like, would people have the same reaction?
Right.
You know? Like, is that more noble than content creation? I mean, you see my point? It's like,
Yeah.
what is it about content
Is
creation
it leaving the field or is it entering content creation or both?
or both? Yeah. So anyway, I my it bothered me that people were trying to like paint him as someone who's making a really poor decision.
Yeah, listen, we don't know people's lives. Even if we see them on the internet, we don't know.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't have all the information. You would never try to make a clinical decision without trying to get all the information. So why do we make,
So here's my
social
question to
judgments?
you. Can I quit being a doctor to do content creation full time?
No. I do know your full situation, and no, you may not.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
Listen, if you were really unhappy and, like, just it was, eating you alive to do that job,
Yeah.
of course, I would be supportive of
Yeah.
whatever would, make you happy, but, like, you like the job well enough. Like, it's still a job, right? I mean, it's got pros and
Right.
cons
Right.
like any job,
Right.
but so does content creation while we're at it.
Yes.
Um, so I
Yeah, there's
personally
things that suck and are great about both things. Just
that's
like any
right,
job, right?
that's right.
Just like any job.
So if you like it enough overall,
Yeah.
you know, I think for you specifically and our family specifically, I would prefer that you keep doing it.
Yeah.
If you ever came to just really hate it, then of course we could talk about that. But and you know this because it has happened before. I have been supportive of
I
things
know.
when it might even be an inconvenience to me, but it's something that is important to your well-being and happiness. I will support you doing it. I'm thinking of you know years of ultimate frisbee and medical training.
It's true. That's true. I used to travel a lot for play Ultimate.
Yeah.
Um,
So but my point is that I'm trying to make is just
yeah.
how do we judge without knowing all of the information?
Yeah, we don't know what's inside anybody's head, what they're going through.
Right. And also, why are we judging it? Like, it feels like it's this like leftover, not even leftover, but just an extension of the prejudice that exists about physicians being on social media.
Yes.
That it's this like professionalism violation. Um,
So
I think nowadays it is almost a responsibility for some anyway physicians to be on social media.
So this gets to just the nature of social media because I heard a lot. I saw a lot of comments on other people's posts, kind of like that. That
Mhm.
was like, why are you even commenting on this?
Mhm.
And I get it, but also if you make a decision like that and you broadcast it out
Mhm.
to the masses, to all your followers, like it's content, and
Sure.
other people have the right, obviously, to like make content off of your content.
Yeah. Sure.
It's just a big hamster wheel, social
Yeah.
media, right? And
Mhm.
so I also don't fully understand. Like you can react negatively to someone else's content, but you gotta like you post these things knowing like you're gonna get opinions. That's what
Yeah.
go like we started
Well, then
with.
we don't even know if he cares about the opinions. We're
That's the
just
thing. Like we all just care about other
Yeah.
people's opinions. He may not even give a shit,
Yeah.
which I hope he doesn't
Right.
because he shouldn't. And but whenever you like put your personal life and your personal life decisions out there,
Mhm.
expect opinions because that's also it's just a sea of opinions as I said
Yeah.
before. And so that's partly why I don't make like a lot of personal videos
Right.
about my life and show our kids and all these
Right.
things.
Even when it is about our life, we're usually trying to use that as like advocacy.
Right,
Like
right.
here's our story and the
Because
reasoning
like
behind what we do.
yeah, like if I decide to, you know, I'm not, but if I decide to like go work for a different hospital, like
Mhm.
I don't want to put that
Announce
on
that.
social media because I don't care what other people's opinions are.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad at people for like expressing an opinion on social media because that is what social media is.
Yeah. Which again, we don't know if he's mad at people. We're not saying he's mad at
No,
people,
I'm
but
mostly talking about other people who are people are reacting to other
right.
people. So
Yes.
anyway, I don't know. It's just and it's like, why do I even like bother keeping up with this stuff? Sometimes I think like I'm just not even gonna like scroll and I'm just gonna make my skits and do a thing. But I don't know. I think sometimes there's like nuggets of conversation in these things that are important
Yeah.
to have, or at
Yeah.
least interesting to have these
I
conversations.
mean, that's the thing. It's just the wide spectrum of humanity
Yeah.
on social media, you know? Um, I think that it does have obviously a lot of downsides. Um, and it's not even social media specifically for what I'm about to say, but social media is currently the tool of mass communication in this
Yeah.
society. You know, it was radio, then it was TV, social media is now that tool. So whatever that tool is, I think that it is a good idea for ethical, evidence-based information to be put out onto that platform, whatever it happens to be. And for this moment in history, it's social media. But that, might change.
Next is gonna be
Might become
Claude.
AI. Yeah. Which, by the way, I saw an encouraging study.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's take a break and then tell me
Okay.
about the study.
Okay.
All right, you're about to say something encouraging about AI.
Yes, I
I
find this
can't wait.
encouraging. Okay. And don't quiz me on the details. I didn't
All right.
read,
Sure.
I don't have access to the paper, but I saw, a psychologist's summary of it, which is to say that social media, as we all know, the way the algorithms work and the business model, it ends up incentivizing polarization.
Mhm.
And, the things that are most extreme end up getting more attention and therefore breeding more things that are very extreme. And you just end up kind of where we are now with very, very polarized opinions and heated
The more polarized your opinion,
feelings
the
in
more
society.
traction you get on social
Yes.
media, yes.
And so, and now we see that in real life off of social media, right? That's
Right.
what kind of we have become right now. AI, on the other hand, LLMs that people are using, so ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever, the things that people now are kind of using in place of Google, and even Google has their own now. They actually, the way their back end works, they incentivize more moderation.
Mm.
They are more like they'll give you kind of both sides. They're just kind of pulling from everywhere, trying to synthesize,
Mhm.
just an accurate, on average explanation. And so it has this effect of like pushing people a little more to the middle.
And because people still view, at least for now, AI as the ultimate,
Knowledge machine.
knowledge machine.
Yeah.
So they trust it enough.
And it's not like a person, right? You don't have
Yeah,
a bias
right.
against, well, that person's in this party, so I can't trust what they say, right? It's just a quote objective.
I just hope we can continue trusting it
I know,
for
yeah.
sure. Because I absolutely, and I've seen that. Like, I think the only social media platform I think that has, like, you can, like, summon AI into the comments
Mhm.
is on Twitter, is on
Okay.
X.
Yeah. That is not what I'm talking about.
No, no, well, no, my point here, I know it's not exactly what you're talking about, but, um, people will, like, post, like, some extreme opinion, and
Yeah.
then someone will, like, "Hey, Grok,
Yeah.
what do you think?" And that's usually what that AI does is kinda, like, more middle of the road type thing, and it
Yeah.
does have an effect that I've seen of, like, kinda squashing
Uh-huh.
more discussion.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have emotions. It's not
Right.
gonna get heated about something and
Yeah.
start an argument.
The saddest thing is when people, like, actually, like, have extended arguments with the
With
AI.
Grok.
Like, real, yeah, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Like, to
Like,
go that
they're getting emotional
yeah,
about
that's
not just like, "Hey, but what about this or this or
no,
this?"
no, they're, like,
Yeah.
arguing like it's a person. It's like that's
Yeah.
like a touch grass moment, I think. When you start, like,
Yeah.
having heated arguments with an AI,
Right.
like, let's
Yeah.
let's just step back a bit and take a breath.
Right.
Go and find a person to
Yeah.
interact with. Anyway, so that's interesting though.
Yeah.
I and that makes sense.
Right.
You
It's
know,
just how they operate.
I wish physicians could be that, but
More moderate? Do you feel like physicians are polarized?
well, I think part of what pushes people away on social media from healthcare professionals is, I mean, we have a tendency to, like, be like, a bit extreme, when it comes to pushing back against like bad opinions in medicine,
Mhm.
as opposed to like, not that you have to like, give in to like misinformation or something,
Right.
but just in how we like interact with people
Yeah. It's a little abrasive,
a
kinda
little bit.
judgy.
Yeah. And that gets clicks.
Yeah.
That gets views,
Mhm.
right? And so and I'm guilty of it as well, especially with chiropractors. Like
Yeah.
when I interact, I'm always very snarky when it comes to that. And, you know, but if I wanted to actually try to like convince someone that chiropractic
Right.
medicine isn't actually medicine and it's all, hogwash, then I'd have to have more of a measured take on it.
Right. Which
Otherwise, you're just gonna,
probably is what's happening in the exam rooms and
yeah,
clinics,
exactly.
but
Like when you're
not
actually
what goes to social
right,
media.
right. So that, that makes sense.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting
Yeah.
and kind of encouraging since AI is just, gonna continue um, growing in popularity, and social media seems to be kind of like having a moment where people are starting to get frustrated with it and even use it less. Maybe that means there's a little bit of moderation coming,
Yeah.
to society at large.
I love your AI optimism. All right, that's
Look,
it.
it's one study. We'll see, but I liked it.
That's it for Knock Knock Hi. Let us give us your thoughts about anything we talk about today. Email us knockknockhi at human-content.com. Visit us on our social media platforms. You can hang out with us and the Human Content Podcast family over on Instagram and TikTok at Human Content Pods to see all the offerings. Thanks to all the listeners leaving feedback and reviews. We got today, I'm not even going to try to say the name. It's like at a bunch of ex-ferret pick, I don't know, whatever, on YouTube. Said, hey, Dr. Glauc, I'm a nursing student and recently went to Belize for a medical brigade. I was able to work alongside an optometrist who told me that eye care is very difficult to get in a lot of the world. Specifically, she said there were about 6 optometrists and 3 ophthalmologists in Belize.
Wow.
That's not very many.
No.
Did you ever get to do medical work in other underserved countries, or do you know colleagues that have? Thank you for your time. That's a great question. I personally have not, but I do know a lot of people. There's a lot of organizations, people in my practice that have done lots of international work.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I think ophthalmology is so just ripe for international work is because cataract is it was one of the leading causes of blindness, and it's entirely treatable.
And it happens to everyone if you live long
So
enough.
if you just get the resources to the people, a doctor and the equipment to remove a cataract, like you can make a dramatic difference in a lot of people's lives. You
Right.
can do a lot of cataract surgery in a very short amount of time.
Yeah,
So
that's the other thing. They're like 7-minute surgeries.
Right. So that's why it's so such a great area for like international work. I just personally haven't done it.
You've done international work in other capacities with Glaucomflecken.
Yeah,
but not like surgery.
Right. I just haven't done the surgeries stuff yet. And maybe I will at some point, when kids in cardiac arrests aren't getting in the way.
Yeah.
So anyway,
there have been a few things.
but it's a great thing for people to do. And if you're interested in international work, think about ophthalmology, honestly. Full video episodes are up every week on our YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens. We also have a Patreon, fun perks, bonus episodes, early ad-free episode access, interactive Q&A live stream events, patreon.com/Glaucomflecken. Speaking of Patreon community perks, shout out to the Jonathans. We have Lucia C., Edward K., Marion W., Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C., Brianna L., MP Cole, Tracy B., Mary H., Keith G., Parker, Muhammad L., David H., Kaylee A., Gabe, Gary M., Eric B., Marlene S., Scott M., Kelsey M., Dr. Hoover, Sean M., Ryan N., Jess K., Hawkeye M.D., Belby Salt, and Shani D.
I almost forgot. I did forget. You have to do it again.
And
Shani D.
Patreon roulette time. Random shout out to someone on the emergency medicine tier. Natasha S. Thank you, Natasha, for being a patron. And thank you all for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Krista Flannery, the Glaucomfleckens. Our executive producers are Will Friendly, Krista Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooker. Editor and engineer is Jason Portizo. Our music is by Omar Bensvi. To learn about Knock Knock Hi's program disclaimer and ethics policy, submission verification, and licensing terms, and those HIPAA release terms, you can go to glaucomflecken.com or reach out to us, knockknockhi at human-content.com with questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Knock Knock Hi is a human content production.
Knock, knock, goodbye.
Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.